Alright. Welcome back to Game 2 of the Manila Masters upper bracket round between Team EVOS versus Warriors Gaming Youth Squad. So Warriors Gaming, they currently are 1-0 and that was a really nail-biting 60 over minute game. My name is Hades and of course joined by PQMZ. Hello PQ, you there?
I am indeed.
5 seconds
And that was a really sick game one. It was a good way to start a series.
Not to mention, now we're even starting the draft with something funky. I have not seen Bane in the competitive scene for a very long time.
I think it's just it's either a comfort pick for the team or it's like a response to the monkey, because it's one of the heroes that can actually like set up kills on him, trade hits somewhat decently. And it's also a good setup for a Slardar if it's 4 positions, so kind of covers the Shadow Demon role, but it's got slightly more impact in the early game, I think. It also deals with a lot of the cores that people like to pick quite well.
And not to mention as well, we do see the... back when Bane was a really hot pick, you always saw the Bane going mid. But I like what you suggested talking about the Bane and Slaughter, like laning together. They could actually do something like that in a duel-in situation, or... unless this is something unusual and Team EVOS do decide to run it as a laning support with the Slaughter just roaming around.
5 seconds remaining.
I think that's the most likely option, but it can pander to whatever Warriors Gaming do with their draft. Because right now, there's no tells on what's going to happen. The lanes are really open. Both teams most likely have their roaming supports and their other support. Lena's a tiny bit more flexible in that, but that's probably the read both teams have right now, and then it's just drafting around and poking and prodding with like what kind of information you get. So you don't always like the idea of picking your cores and just slamming them on the table saying this is what we're doing with our draft. It gives the other team time to respond.
So Monkey King Lina, it's also fair to say that WG, they actually, I think on sometimes they, instead of playing their ranked games in C, they actually play them in China. So there's a bit of influence over there, and not to mention because I believe they're mostly like Mandarin educated. So they tend to favor a style closer to the Chinese teams. Although it doesn't really show, they still have the hint of C culture in them. But Monkey King Lina, it seems like very basic picks in the meta. We saw at DAC, Chinese teams were constantly picking these two heroes first. So for a third pick, not even surprised if the Centaur comes out again. Because you can really see, like, Team EVOS, they banned out the Clockwork, like, instantly.
Yeah, he had a huge game, so... I think half of that was down to EVOS' lineup, though. Like, it made the clock have a lot more impact than it normally would, because it was so central on one core.
Silencer.
And a very immobile core at that.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is a pretty funky pick. It's obviously interchangeable in roles, but it's really annoying when you play Bane to play against this kind of hero, but I don't think it's good enough to just block the Bane with this hero. They obviously have a strategy based around it. And it's normally something that's like a Batrider or Enigma as some kind of initiator that you can just win the fight off the back of. Or strong lanes.
You could consider seeing that Lina playing support again. Yes, should be a roaming Monkey King, but we can't rule out the possibility, like you said, interchangeable roles. For the Silencer, you could see in the safe lane, but Team EVO is picking up the Crystal Maiden, so it should be a Slaughter past 3. See, what else do we lacking? When picking up the Silencer could also indicate that you have a Tinker or Storm Spirit coming in.
Yeah, it could. There's a lot of ways to run this hero. But with what EVOS have, they don't really have the team fight that you normally pick Silencer to counter. And that's normally when you opt for it to be a support hero that just farms lanes and presses global. I have a feeling it's slightly more likely to be a core, but again, up to the teams.
Crystal Maiden, blah, blah. It's like Team Blue right now. But Warriors Gaming for 4th pick. Maybe they might go ahead and pick the carry first. Yeah, I guess so. Or we could also consider the Monkey King offlane. I think some players were experimenting with it. I saw Ice spamming ranked games with Monkey King for like 2 days in a row.
I have a feeling the way Monkey King's played can be revolutionized a bit, but I haven't seen much of it as an offlaner yet. Because with the stun, it was just too good as a support. You know, it was
Dire team pick.
way too high impact. Now the stun's a bit shittier scaling, but it's still about the same as a Fisher.
Radiant
is kind of,
team ban.
Good
Cool.
enough setup.
Juggernaut being
They
picked
like
up.
this Ursa.
They really do, but I mean, on the bright side, at least they did kind of pick it later out instead of picking it up so early. So who knows? This might actually work out for them,
10
especially since,
seconds
if
remaining.
Jug is kind of spinning away, you lay an amp out, a Corrosive Haze with the Ursa swipes,
5
Juggernaut
seconds
dies
remaining.
very quickly actually. And the only big downside I would say would be the
Dire team
silencer.
back.
Like initiating into global silence is never pretty, so that it's gonna force BKBs out.
It also goes the other way because if they jump the Ursa, you can't enrage off a global.
Mhm.
So I can definitely see the reason they pick it because, as
10
you said, it
seconds
melts
remaining.
Jug. It's really good at killing like the monkeys, etc. But
5 seconds
and it has
remaining.
Slardar to help it scale into the game, so it's not as on its
Dire
own
team
as a
pick.
right clicker this game.
Mhm.
But it sets the same kind of situation they had last game where they did kind of prove me wrong, but if they don't pick a scaling hero here, they're going to have problems to a degree.
10 seconds
You know, if it's a
remaining.
cleaner game with less throws either way and a bit more clinical
5
execution,
seconds
then
remaining.
Ursa as a single core is not good at high level games.
Reserve time.
I
And
still
Warriors,
feel like
they have
Invoker would
like,
be good. Like I think Invoker would be actually really good here, but
Yeah.
it's not banned out. Like it's just one of those heroes where it's reliable, and not to mention when you have the Bane sleep into a Sunstrike is gonna be so easy considering Team EVOS have actually pretty good catch. And in the previous game, the draft as well, I feel like they had a lot of limitations to what they could do. Yeah, they had Coddle, but they also had a lack of disables. So Weaver was just constantly just going around doing his thing.
yeah, I think Invoker's the easy option here, if they can play it. I don't know the teams, maybe they aren't comfortable playing it. So if they aren't, then there's still other options, so like,
They have. EVOS has played Invoker quite frequently in the past, and it usually ends up getting picked by the second phase, but this time holding it out to the end, maybe they have something else in mind. Because I know they did play quite a lot of Tinker, OD, and Storm as well. So, it's just all these...
all good heroes. Maybe not
yeah.
the Storm into Silencer, but
Yeah.
for the role they need to
Invoker.
fill, those heroes fit.
Radiant
Warriors, they
team
probably
pick.
want their offlaner now.
I mean, one more thing they could also have been considering is, while taking the time back, they already know they're going to pick the hero, but they could have been using the time to discuss whether, you wanted to run the Ursa in an aggro lane situation. Like, going up against Silencer and Jug is not such a bad thing with Crystal Maiden and
10
Bane,
seconds
seeing as
remaining.
Monkey King usually does roam around. He's not a good laning support at all.
5 seconds remaining.
No, he's only good at like zoning single heroes. If it comes to like a contested
Reserve
lane, he
time.
can do okay, but he's not as good as heroes like Bane for the overall part because he needs levels. At level 3, he kind of gets his entire toolkit and he starts being annoying. Until then, it's more skirmish scenarios that he thrives on. But with a Darkseer, he becomes a shit ton more annoying. I don't think it's the best Darkseer game though, because they don't. They have the Monkey Stun as a setup for the Vacuum, but other than that, I think it's more for like the Iron Shell, the Mech, the Surges, like the early game timing and the laning pressure, as opposed to the big wombo combos.
Surge is one thing as well, which is really good against Ursa. And, okay, because of, I would say, the limited range to that Bane ultimate, maybe you could like just blink to the backline, go for a vacuum, these kind of things,
10
which can
seconds
really somehow
remaining.
turn around the fights for you, especially with the Surge. It's great at kiting around the Ursa.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, there's lots of good reasons for the hero to
Mhm.
be picked. It's just people can generally consider Darkseer a
Safe option.
Vacuum plus Earth Spirit Stun, Vacuum plus Sven Stun kind of hero for the team fights. Because as the game goes on, Wall's not going to do that much this game. You know, they might get an AC Aura or a Shiva's Aura, but that's about it, you know.
hmm
The heroes that they're replicating aren't that useful, so it's the rest of his toolkit that he's picked for. And the amount of pressure him and a Monkey King can put on, especially these two supports, is phenomenal. So I would look to that lane, putting a lot of chaos early, if they get the chance to. Because as you said, they could aggro with their heroes. They might forfeit the lane with the supports and just have the Ursa sit there. That's feasible. There's plenty of options.
Alright, so looks like we have a bit of a pause again. I'm going to introduce the teams. WG.Youth, Yang playing on the Monkey King, Wen on the Darkseer. We'll see whether he has, as much impact like his Clockwork in game 1. WL is going to be playing the Silencer, Trion on the mid Lina, Xiang on the Juggernaut. For the dire side, for EVOS, let's see whether they can force the game 3 here. Tu Hoi playing on the Crystal Maiden again, iLogic on the Ursa, Rams playing on the Invoker, Avil going to be playing on the Slaughter, with Laisu playing on the Bane. Oh, internet issues. Yeah, I think in Indonesia, like, even if it rains or something, then your net basically just goes down to shit. So, like, I think these guys are, like, permanently playing on, what, 80 ping to 100, despite being in C?
Well, that's not fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're blessed to be in a better part of the world, as, like, a European. For the most part, anyway, our internet's pretty stable. Touch wood, no cap, all that crap.
Like, I think even for an Indonesian event I casted before, it was like some C regional tournament, and they actually had a 40-minute pause because the internet just kind of crashed. Someone kicked the cable or something, it was just down for the longest time.
Now that is a no bueno Dodo tournament.
But you don't get these kind of issues, do you? Like, usually I would notice that even in the EU tier 2 tournaments, all the way down to tiny lands, you don't face these kind of issues. Not as much.
No, our system's a lot more stable, luckily. So it's nice that these teams can, get to this level while they play with all of that bullshit as well. We have small internet issues or like computers breaking down, but there's nothing you can do about that, no matter where you are for any events. Alright, so who do you favor?
For me, I favor EVOS. Their draft seems easier to execute, and even to the late game, I think they scaled quite nicely just because of the Invoker pick.
And I think I'd agree. Anytime Invoker is played like really, really well, I feel the hero can win any game. That might be because I've seen Miracle, WG, and all these people just pull out unbelievable games, so I'm always biased towards the potential of the hero. But the other 4 heroes have a lot of room this game to make plays, I think. And Ursa's got a lot more flexibility this game. If he goes in to the similar way he did last game, he's got someone that's going to like use the chaos of the fight in their favor.
Oh, already iLogic gonna bump into what WL, so he's gonna know that there's a ward. They're pinging it out as well.
Yeah, they know where it is. And this is such a huge part of the game as well now, if you can... Also, they might not actually have internet issues and they're just pausing to figure out who's gonna go where.
Yeah, that's true. No, but EVOS, they do this in like basically every tournament. They have very unstable internet because I think I can't remember what's their previous name. They were playing under another name previously before this, and back then the internet was kind of more stable because they had to play from like a LAN cafe. But now I think maybe in like a team house kind of situation or another LAN cafe, maybe they just have really shitty net. But also what you said.
I know like every European team liked pausing in scrims and officials for like a minute. Even when this wasn't popular, but it's just, okay, who's going where? We figured out what heroes we're going to pick, but how do we want to lane? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's tactics pause. I think it's basically just standard now. Like, drafting time is not enough to think about everything anymore. I think it's only going to get worse because everyone gets better at the game, so there's more options.
Alright, so as we enter this, 3 bounty runes going in the way of EVOS. Not bad, pretty good omen if you think about it, if you're the superstitious sword. And yeah, looks like they actually do. Actually, it looks like WG are gonna be the ones running that aggro lane themselves with the Silencer and the Monkey King. So it's gonna be a Darkseer versus a Slaughter. And Darkseer, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is a matchup favorable to him.
To the Darkseer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, how he wants to play this lane is shove the wave to somewhere here, pull this camp, and then you get more out of the lane. If you deny the slider experience, great. If not, you just get to pull the hard camp and get more farm. It's the same as like almost any melee except Axe. You can do this against, and Darkseer will just get more out of the matchup. And Slider should, if he gets a Quelling Blade, free farm under the tower. It's once you get used to it, it's very hard to miss if you ever do get the wave. But Darkseer will ideally get more out of it. And then the lanes all kind of come down to this aggro lane. Lina can dumpster Invoker though, so we will see. She definitely has a favorable start.
Both these players are actually really, really aggressive. Like between Rams and Tron, I think that this would be a static lane. And if anything, I feel like EVOS would be the ones to also run the supports to try to gank the bottom lane. Because if you look at WG, I mean, usually as an aggro lane, it's very hard, it limits your options on supports ganking, since you make sure you really want to get some stuff done in this lane. So, I don't know. Feels kind of rough.
Jug does offer some flex, so because if the monkey wants to move and they can stall the lane at like this position, he's one of the cores that can stay in the lane on his own.
That's true. Not to mention healing ward as well. Very, very big thing. Yeah,
So far, CS is pretty nice for the Radiant side. I think as you'd expect, like Lina's always going to win the early levels against Invoker, and then it just comes down to like play. If he plays better and gets some kills, which is very feasible in this matchup, if Invoker plays too far up, then he's going to dominate the lane.
Ooh, Monkey versus Bear. Getting a bit of a trades out of the Arcane, because iLogic is not having a fun lane at all. Even if the PMS and all this region, there's just continuous spam coming out.
I think we definitely, between us, underrated this as a, like, it's an annoying lane for sure. I thought the EVOS lane would get a lot more done, but they kind of have to find Silencer. And daytime, Monkey gives you so much vision over the sides, and their ward also didn't get dewarded, so they're going to have so much information in this lane of who's moving where, and then you play around it.
Trying to force WL out of this lane, but you know, playing your tangos, he's going to be okay. And we still haven't seen any of those chances for sleep into a Sunstrike kind of thing. Ram's kind of busy in the middle lane. Trying to, you see, he's even gone for the points into quads. I think sometimes I've seen him go for like Wex Exort just to try if he's more confident in playing aggressive. But against Lina, very unlikely. Yeah, it's just Lina things.
Yeah, exactly. You need the regen. Back when this hero was, I can't remember which patch it was, but this hero was like the cancer after or before Leshrac, one of the two. And laning against this hero was just an absolute nightmare. The attack range and just how much it can zone you out. So I would expect him to get at least 2 points in quals, and then probably take the Wex after that.
No surprise. Hold on, now we see the sleep come out onto the jug. He's only level 2. But okay, no Sunstrike, doesn't want to use it unless he gets a confirmed kill. And then Avil, Slaughter's not having a good time against this Darkseer at all. The lanes are just constantly being pushed out.
No, it's never fun to play melees against Darkseer. He just has to get what he can from the lane.
Unless you're like a Sven where you can just cleave the entire wave down, so it doesn't really matter.
You still have to like stand under Iron Shell and ferry a lot of regen to do that though. And Sven will normally have supports. That's the other thing, so I expect him to... He'll probably be happier in this lane than if he was against a tri-lane, and that's how I look at it. It's an unfavorable matchup, but he's going to get a blink or whatever he feels like he wants to get a lot earlier than if he was playing against the tri-lane from the Radiant. Or at least I think so.
And he's going to get levels for sure.
Which is way more impactful, and you just have to take the fact Darkseer's going to get a bit more. He's not getting like much more in the levels department, it's just the CS at the moment. But once he clears his camp, his sliders and leash experience.
Hold on, spin and slow with the Boundless Strike, gonna miss. But iLogic should be going down here. He's gonna use that Earthbound, but I think he dies here anyways. So, yep, so +2 going away to WL. First blood. And yeah, you can even see the supports, they've just given up trying to just stay in the lane doing nothing. So if Lighter and WG.Y will go for a smoke, try and find that Lina as they will go for the flank round. You can see it being drawn on the minimap.
But he knows what's up. Like, you don't just kill an Ursa like that in a lane where he had 2 supports and be like, okay, well, they're obviously still there, they just didn't want to save him. No, they're obviously doing something else. And that's why he goes to jungle, and now with the monkey being here, he feels a bit safer, but maybe it doesn't work so well.
Looking for the Sunstrike. Oh no, they missed the timing on that. And actually, Lina looks like she's gonna get out. They have the Laguna Blade. Oh, the salve up just in the nick of time. If anything, they might even find 2 kills here. Tron needs the Laguna, and with the Dragon Stave, that range
Plus
though.
8.
Wow.
Yeah, they read that so well, and now they even get the D ward as well. So EVOS is having a pretty shit early game.
Losing all those heroes, 3 heroes for nothing, and that's a huge gold swing. And like you said, they even got the D ward as well. So I don't know. I mean, we said how EVOS has the easier job to execute, but I'm not even sure how they missed that. Like with that sleep into a Sunstrike, that should not have happened at all.
He snapped, and then the range creep kind of hit through the sleep, I think, and then snap triggers it. So bit of miscommunication on like both parts, because yes, they shouldn't be in a position to die when his supports are smoking, and then you also should just let the Bane lead with sleep, or the CM with frostbite, or whatever you want to do, but leading with snap was incorrect.
A bit of EXP being shared between the 2 at the bottom lane, but when it's there, he's gonna just keep laying out that Iron Shell, so he does get a fair bit of gold coming out. And now that Slaughter has level 6, I feel like Darkseid needs to be more careful, so they do put the Silencer to the bottom lane, just in case.
Yeah, I like the Bane moving down here and not just defaulting going top, because the Slaughter offers you a lot of kill potential with the Invoker being able to add, what is it, like an extra 220 damage? It's gonna go up.
Right, so they rotate the lanes.
Yeah. And their game gets a lot easier when blinks come out. I still think for the laning stage, like, you're playing against a Monkey King and a Darkseid, your lanes aren't going to be easy. Even though they haven't had the chance to use that combo yet. You also have a disadvantageous matchup in the mid lane, which...
Oh, they go for the burst drag, looking for the stun maybe. Life Strike Array does connect just at the very tip. They have the Laguna Blade, quick and easy kill here. The TP's gonna come in, but unfortunately they just don't have the follow-up. So, alright, really nicely done coming out from the Monkey King. WG.Y, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and EVOS have like no vision to stop these rotations. They don't have any kind of ward except the one that's by their top bounty rune. And if Monkey doesn't go that way, then he can pretty much...
Doesn't have mana for the stun. That Jingu Mastery doing plenty of damage. Wow, gets a very huge right click.
Really? That's your best.
Now can they cut him off? No, they can't. He's just gonna pounce away. He's gonna okay. If anything, he might even steal the bounty rune. Oh no! Now he's showing himself.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's
He's
no
just
way
making space.
Plenty of space.
And it's scary when Lina can have this much impact early. She's already 600 ahead, having really nice early start. So far there's just not really been much to punish her because of the aggro lane. Normally you'd think the supports can smoke, get something done whenever she pushes down the hill or tries to play aggressive on Invoker, but the aggro lane just gave her so much freedom to dominate the lane a bit more. And a 1200 net worth gap at 9 minutes is, you know, that's huge. Invokers normally want a Midas by now, and he's like a level and a half behind.
He's even taken to the jungle because he doesn't feel confident in laning. But okay, Slaughter getting out just barely as he does get a nice triple stun. Yeah, like I said, you know, it's a tough game to be an Invoker, and not to mention the Silence are just not accomplishing as much. Their sleep setup, they're just not using it to its maximum potential, I feel.
No, the support duo is just not that good.
They want to kill the top, but unfortunately they just couldn't find the vision on it. And when he's gonna be okay.
This'll come in handy.
Almost every time you see 2 range supports in this metagame, you feel like your support duo is really, really weak. It's just kind of how the game's evolved. You almost always have like a Slaughter.
Oh, Xiang, he's very, very low. The corrosive haze. And of course, with the brain sap, he does go down. Avil, he does not care. Bang, easy kill here for your Invoker. So we finally see a bit more light going the way of EVOS, because otherwise the game was just going to shit for them.
Dire's middle
Oh
tower
well,
is
the
under
Slider and
attack.
Ursa are farming decently,
Dire's
so
structures
they were
are
definitely at a
fortified.
disadvantage, but that evens up the net worth a tiny bit. And as much as like early games can matter, Invoker dying
Oh,
here, it's like,
Chun.
Dire's middle
it's
tower
obviously
is under
good for the
attack.
team that gets the kills, but the thing that matters most is the 15 to like 25-minute mark and who plays the most aggressively, who has the tools to push their advantage. Which obviously your laning stage is going to make everything easier if it goes well, but it's much less impactful than it was when, I don't know, like TI3, TI4 times where games were decided on lanes because of people just being worse players at the time. They didn't know how to come back.
Dire's middle tower is
Now
under
it's almost easier to be on the comeback than be on the front foot because you feel like you have to do something when you're on the front foot. Depends on the draft, though. Dota's a weird game.
It is, and it's constantly evolving. Like every time there's a patch update, even players, they take 2 months to readjust to the patch, and it's just
It's not even just patches, though. It's like someone finds a new.
smoke.
Okay, so the monkey thing I was talking about earlier, the stun scaling, it feels like you have to max for stun now. But if you have the way people were playing the hero was basically leaping between trees and using him for vision and a setup hero. But the other way you can play the hero is you just max for spring and you skip the ult at 6, get like 2 points in the queue, and then you just push lanes because people can't catch you. Spring on a lane, push it out, and kind of play the same way Coddle does almost, where you just push lanes. If that was to work, that completely changes how people view the hero, and that in itself can completely evolve a game.
Oh, hold on, TP's to the bottom lane. They want to lay out the Wukong Swan, and beautiful double boundless strike catching onto 2 heroes. And now, of course, with that slow, they get the stun onto the Slider, looking for that ultimate, but the vacuum into the wall. Very, very nicely done from one. And that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but they lose the tier 1 tower, and now they need to back off. The illusion giving them a bit of vision. I'm not sure he should have turned around for that. Of course, with the surge down, they get the stun. Vayne. Why did you turn around, putting him to sleep? Using the wand, the stick charges is not going to be enough.
And that's why Monkey's a high command hero, right? Like, what other supports do that?
Dire's structures are
Oof,
fortified.
that was really
Dire's top tower is
good
under
fight.
attack.
Meanwhile, they're also like losing their top tower, so
they're going to lose Aegis. Or rather, the Roshan's going to go to iLogic. And of course, with the Corrosive Haze, they take it very easily. And yeah, Juggernaut being put to sleep. They lose the tier on top. Or rather, yeah,
They
it's
get it?
EVOS. No, they're actually going to tell Oh no. No. That was really close by Tron. If they can burn iLogic's Aegis here, the Arcane Curse, he's just gonna rage, purge everything off. Tron, Sunstrike off the mark, just barely. Now they pop the Global Silence. Nice vacuum coming up from one to save his teammate with the Omni Slash. Can they kill Rams here? I think they can. Yes, they can. And they will go for a bit more, but Xiang, of course, getting frostbitten up with the Cursive Haze, dies very quickly. Great sap, and Vaisu back to full HP. If he gets an Ether Lens, this is going to be even scarier when you talk about the Fiend script, like cast range.
yeah, Aether's pretty common on Bane, so I wouldn't be surprised. He's got it queued up. But getting the Roche there, and it kind of offsets the laning deficit EVOS was in. Now they have their blink on Ursa, so the hero can start making a lot more plays. I really like the fact he only got the mask this game as opposed to the Vlads. It makes his timing a lot earlier. And Lena's a hero that any kind of stun on her and she's gonna die.
Oh,
Especially when she like uses her
the
stun.
Sunstrike, can he get the kill here? No, he's gonna pop the Enrage, and actually it looks like he may be caught out over here. But the Bane is in the vicinity. This could be a bit of a bait, and he will have a blink off cooldown in a bit. Yep, they're looking for him. They won't find him. He's gone all the way to the west. He will be okay. But I mean, also back to game, like that game 1 Vlad's buy. One thing we could have considered is that he got the headdress, probably considered going for a Helmet Dominator, but afterwards then decided against it, and he realized he needs lifesteal.
Yeah, possibly. I think he always had it queued up, at least when I was looking at him, but I don't know. I think the Helm is... it's just so nerfed. I think Ursa's one of the few heroes that can warrant buying it because the creep is just so strong early game for letting you take Roshan, and any kind of control creep can just
Oh,
get
they
you
can
killed.
kill a jug
quickly.
here. Going for the Fiend's Grip, and of course with the Corrosive Haze. Nice and easy kill here for Logic.
Now they're just like asserting their dominance.
You have to. Isn't Dota usually like that? You have to assert dominance.
When you have an Ursa that's this fat, it's very easy. And you also have a lot of deep vision. This is not the most common ward. People normally place it like a bit further up or something. So if they don't catch this, it's going to give them 6 minutes of...
Oh, hold on, they get the double stun with the Wukong's command and the Global Silence, but unfortunately they will just walk out of it. So not much extra damage. The Frostbite comes onto the Monkey King, and I think they want to keep on going. Dragon Stave connecting onto the Crystal Maiden just at the very tip.
They
have
turn.
one chasing after, looking for the Iron Shell, chasing the Monkey, but not the Blink. Beautiful crush, catching the 2 heroes into the Sunstrike, back into the wall. 3 heroes being caught, but where's the follow-up damage? iLogic doesn't have anything else now. It looks like he just took the right click down by Yang. Now, over the backline, they lose the Silencer, but one, he's going to keep looking for more kills. 2 are going to pop their big ultimate right now. Boundless Strike are going to be used, and 1, no way to cancel it. He's going to walk out just barely, but Xiang, okay, good killing off Lysu. Meanwhile, Invoker's just farming. He's just like, guys, don't worry about me.
And he misses on the Sunstrikes, so... His 2 contributors to that fight, 1 works, 1 doesn't. Considering he wasn't there though, that's a pretty good fight overall. Like, they sacrifice a bit of Ursa's scaling for, what, a minute? And meanwhile Invoker's getting levels. Which is the most important thing for the hero. He's highest in the game now, joined with the Darkseer. After his slightly weak laning stage, it's kind of how you need to play around it.
Middle lane. Lysu
And now
getting
they
this ring.
Yeah, they can split the map so easily now when they can find pickoffs if the map is split, is the better way of putting it.
They might. Do you know that Shan is all on? Maybe put him to sleep? Really? Yes? No?
They saw everyone behind him, so...
Oh no, they smoke. They don't know about the Invis ring.
I think he saw the smoke.
He
So,
should have.
Ursa should know this is coming.
I don't
If his
think.
Bane
I don't think he saw the
communicated
smoke.
to him.
I don't think he was looking at the smoke.
No, I think the Bane was.
Oh, they
Right.
found him an immediate blink out. Okay, so yeah. Oh, double damage. Casual.
Cutting it as close to the wire as possible.
Oh, that's really, really close.
Yeah, just more time for the rest of his team. They're pushing in top lane, Invoker's pushing up mid, and going to the jungle to continue his Midas thing. And their game's looking really comfortable now. They're leading the net worth with the 2 heroes you'd expect them to be. Invoker through just having the farm, and Ursa through having the superior early game fightings. And the Roshan. And the fact Sladar's basically keeping up with the Darkseer just says to how well they're doing in fights.
Alright, so Ram's still trying to build his way. He's really close to an Aghanim Scepter.
Radiant's top tower.
So that would be another huge item which contributes to a huge power spike in EVOS arsenal. So would you consider that like then they can try for the mid tier 1? Once he gets the Ags?
I think if they get it in conjunction with Ursa's Deso, then that's probably the timing they're looking for, but it's less item timings at this stage of the game and more like kills that matter. I think if they can find any kind of hero, any kind of core, they're going to be happy trying to push their advantage. And now they've got the high ground vision on Darkseer, so this should lead to an easy pick.
Oh, quick and easy kill. Won't even need the Sunstrike. And that's going to be the Deso coming up pretty soon. 800 more gold.
I'd suspect they wait for that and then they try for another engagement. Because right now, they're not in a position where they need to make something happen. Roche is their main objective, and he's not up for 3-4 minutes. So just continue farming, make the pickoffs where you can. That smoke play nets you a really big kill. Unfortunately, there's no collateral, but...
Oh, top lane. Yang,
The
you see,
balance.
he just...
He
What?
solo killed him.
What? Okay, they expended the global silence for that, but that was well worth it because right now, okay, it's just before he already got his Aghanim, so nothing was really lost. But still, he's in the bottom half of the net worth. Like he's less than half the net worth of this Invoker, and he solo killed him. What?
I think he just got like 3 levels from that kill as well. So To be fair, he was already like half life, half mana, and the only thing that the global stopped was Ghost Walk, really.
Worth it.
So,
Vaisu, they want to turn this around. They have everyone there except the Crystal Maiden.
this is good for them to fight now, though, because if they can engage while they know there's no global.
Bang! Down goes one. Life Strike Array not going to matter. Hoi running in. And actually, no, they already get the sleep on the silencer. And they get the Fiend's Grip onto the Lina. That's a big kill.
What the fuck? That range?
Ether Lens, man. I told you, Ether Lens on Bane just really strong. Like, I remember playing tons of Bane. Like, I climbed out of 3K just playing Bane.
And I used to play as hero all the time, and the second your arms go up, the cast goes off, no matter how far away the hero is.
Exactly.
But, I mean, Bane was here. Lina was, whoever he gripped was like here. That's way more than Ether Lens cast range, especially on the tooltip. It just looked weird.
Oh, Chuan
And
getting Hoi.
That also looked weird. There should queue there's a ward somewhere here, otherwise why would a CM be there? And it's also a Bloodstone charge for Lina after she got depleted slightly. But I don't think this is the best Bloodstone game. Because the tempo EVOS is playing at,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
you kind of are going to fight a lot.
But you generally get the, like, okay, because she had such a good start, right? And getting a Bloodstone means you have high mana upkeep, and it means you can constantly cast spells. If anything, that's actually a lot of damage output on, like, EVOS. This is just one way of matching them, especially Lina is more of like a mid-game hero where she has the huge power spike, which you would say is somewhat comparable to an Ursa.
Yeah, I could see that. It's more just, I think when the games are played at such a high tempo, you'd want a Yules. Some of it comes down to just people play the hero a specific way and they don't deviate because they feel like that's the best way regardless, and that might be the case here. Because almost everyone buys Bloodstone, like Shadow Blade, Blink, Yules on the hero. It's just the ordering. It's like, yes, Yules doesn't give you as much health, but when you have these kind of heroes running at you and controlling you, it saves you a lot more than a bit of extra health. And also the move speed's insane for farming.
Like, I think I've seen different variations of the Lina. Like, before the change to her talents, like the level 10-15 swap, I used to see like some Linas, they would go for like Ether Lens, and sometimes you see like a Hurricane Pike if they want to somewhat transition into like right click, so they don't solely depend on, you know, the nuke. Because the talents actually allow her to transition to a somewhat decent physical damage output dealer.
I'd go a little further than somewhat decent. I think
Plus 50, Fiery Souls, attack range.
yeah, I mean, the hero, it doesn't need damage items. It needs like a Blood Fawn, a Daedalus, or an MKB. And then you get mana regen items, Shivas, Hexes, mobility items, and you do a shit ton of damage. Like, the hero is... I mean, I haven't played it that much, so I can't compare, but it feels like it can do more damage than nearly any other hero.
I mean, I'm still
In
trying to
a short
experiment to
sequence.
find out. Well, they take care of the ward, and they're just asserting dominance. EVOS, they really want to control the enemy jungle nicely. And this Invoker, one again, he hasn't been touched. Already picked up the Aghanim's and the Boots of Travel, Dagger on the way. WG need to address this problem, which is the Invoker, or they need to do something else, because right now they're just farming the map. Lina can only scale so well until so long.
She scales as well as her farm is most of the time. And in this kind of situation where you go Bloodstone, you don't have mobility, and you see how scared she is. Like, this is a Slardar just running at them. Yes, she has no vision of where the other heroes could be, but that's how scared they are right now. You can't play teamfights when you're this scared.
Oh, top lane, they find Hoi again. This Crystal Maiden has not had any luck. Wherever she goes, she dies.
That's space though, like, now they can just go kill mid. And this is a much bigger kill.
Global Silence being popped. Oh, that's not the way they wanted to use it. Middle lane, they thought about going to iLogic here. Do they use an Omni Slash? But he has the enrage. He's going to pop it and just run away from this one.
Now the global stopped the Fiend's Grip killing the Jug, so... But they're making things happen in all three lanes.
And now they want to chase, they vacuum him back into the Omni Slash. Blaisu going down. Oh, he tried to I think he tried to right click onto the Nightmare target so that at least he can dodge the Omni Slash a bit.
And now it's space for Roche. Like, this is just EVOS outmaneuvering them around the map. They spend 2 heroes top on the CM, and now they get Roche. In short.
He wants to keep on going. Because right now, Xiang taking a lot of damage from the Forge Spirit, looking for the Sunstrike. Bang! Almost dies there. He's gonna mount his top, but Tornado will finish him off. It looks like iLogic, they're gonna kill off WL as well. 2 heroes down, popping the ultimate. 1, getting a 3-minute back into the Wukong's command. 4 heroes all caught inside. It's everyone dying while they're turning this around. I cannot believe it. And actually, they somehow make this fight seem kind of even, and they burn the Aegis as well. iLogic, in between all these heroes and the stun, what is happening?
Monkey King, dude. He has an Echo, which most people don't go for, so he's like as strong as his hero is gonna be for until he gets his next item, basically.
I thought they lost that fight, like for sure.
They had, and then Monkey King happened.
Drop the frames, win games. They want to keep on going, looking for the Boundless Strike. Oh, can he get in range? Nope. The try, he blinks out just in the nick of time. That was really close, and they saw it coming because of this ward. If not for this ward, he would have died for sure. Waiting for one person, Vlysu and the Slaughter.
But they scout this under the other wards, so... I feel like EVOS, they completely outmaneuver them, and then they take what they presume would be a good team fight, and then they kind of just lose the game to one hero. Well, lose the fight, and if they'd have won that fight, the game in theory snowballs super hard, because Ursa picks up his BKB. How do you deal with him in a fight then? And Invoker just gets free reign. Like, now he's getting a free solo kill.
Hold on, Rams. Yep, they get the kill. But hello, that ward just expired. I think they kind of know that there's some heroes around. But Vlysu, okay, that range though, he puts him to sleep. Have a nice nap, Jug. Have a nice nap. One going for the vacuum when he finds iLogic, and looks like he will just surge out. But looking at Avil going for the flank, he's thinking about it, looking for a blink. He gets the crush. Strike Xiang going down here. Manta start to juke it for now. May be forced. The Boundless Strike saving him, and of course the healing ward. I think they're ready to try and turn this around. Can they turn things around? He's going for the optimistic TP out. Healing ward, trying to distract him. No. Everything off the mark. And okay, he gets out. So they lose nobody. But they have to... Oh, they use the scan.
This monkey is saving the
game. Oh, look at
Vlysu.
No way. No way. Oh my god.
Oh, poor guy. Hey, he lives.
No, the attempt was there. Oh, he found him. He found the monkey. He's going to leap out. Wait, how is he able to leap out from that? Tornado?
Because when you're on a tree, the damage doesn't stop you.
Oh god. Okay, that's disgusting. That's really disgusting.
It only works when you're on the ground.
Alright, you learn new things. I thought that once you right click, he's not able to, like, the Primal Spring doesn't work anymore. So...
Yeah. Well, apparently not, right?
Oh, no. Oh no, Avil. Not like this.
Feels bad, man.
The vacuum, catching 2 heroes, and WG.Youth have found an opening. iLogic to get a kill. Okay, so he's not really in range of the shrine, but he's gonna get back. This game is extremely clowny. It's just going back and forth, back and forth.
It's not quite as clowny as the last one, I feel like, but this game's just mostly being dictated by Monkey. The fights they've been able to win are purely based on like this hero getting so much value out of his ult. So the time they had Aegis, that fight was like done. If it wasn't for this hero. And it's not like EVOS are playing badly. You know, they're moving around the map while they're using their heroes to about as well as they could, but I think they just... Now they're probably going to over-respect the hero, which might go the other way. We'll see. Because they're not on any timer, they're still farming really well, they're ahead on net worth for their cores. Their supports don't matter as much because they don't scale as well. They just need their cores to be able to do what they can in fights, and then they can hopefully make the space for their supports to get their spells off on key heroes.
Alright, so let's take a look at talents while we still have this downtime. Ursa, he went for the same talents as he did back in the previous game. Invoker, no surprise, did go for the Forge Spirit, attack speed, not the stats, and the extra 125 HP. Lina, 50 damage, actually didn't go for the respawn time. Wow. So something a bit more right-clicky. You can see the Shadow Blade in the quick buy. Jug went for 7 armor and 175 HP. Do you think it's a good choice though, like skipping on the 20 damage and not going for the 175 HP?
He's against an Ursa, so he wants any kind of boost in stats he can get.
Oh,
to
hold
survive
on,
a
looking
bit
to
longer.
Avil. They want to try and go in to get a lucky bash and the primal spring. Can he get a lucky bash? Oh my god. One more right click. Ah. Monkey King things.
After you've had some practice.
Feels bad, man.
Balanced.
But that's a pretty big ult, and the cooldown is a lot longer than it was prior to this patch. So unfortunately, they can't really do anything though, because the mid lane's not pushed in. Roche is not an objective yet, so they can't really capitalize on it.
Oh, they're gonna try to go for the Bane here. He has to sleep. If he needs to use it, he will use it. And that should be the end of that story. But the vacuum back? Oh, the tornado is now gonna come up, but it's not gonna land to anyone. That's very, very awkward.
Zoning tornado. And again, this game is just like coming down to who finds what opportunities.
WG are actually able to pull back in terms of EXP this game. If you look at the graphs, it's actually almost barely hit it in favor of EVOS. But net worth wise, it's just like a 4k gold lead.
Most of it's on the course though, so it's kind of where they want it to be. Slider is actually, you know, doing decently because he got his Midas. Normally this hero just drops off in farm if he doesn't get kills, which is why you see a lot of people going for this item. It allows him to get the secondary and third, like 4-staff, BKB, AC, whatever it is you fancy. BKB makes most sense this game, unless he was going to go Lotus Orb for maybe his Invoker, but Invoker has yours to deal with global. This could be huge down bottom though.
Somebody out, they want to go right here with this Young, and of course with the lucky bash, laying out the ultimate, but the global stance and the vac into the wall. Does he actually pursue for this? He has a BKB. Taking care of healing ward, he's going to keep on going. Rams. Arcane Curse. Oh, that's not fun to play with against a Silencer. And now going to lay out the Wukong's command with the beautiful Boundless Strike, catching the 3 heroes. And of course the Light Strike Array is going to connect. It's always going to connect. And the Omni Slash killing off 3. Alright, so that's going to be a 3-for-1 trade favoring WG. And now they're going to look for one more. Sunstrike.
Oh, what a Sunstrike.
3 for 2.
Semi-salvage, but that fight just... Global delayed it long enough, and then... I was watching the Invoker, and he could have like blinked forward with... if he invoked his spells differently. But he was like trying to worry about getting Alacrity on himself, and then he gets cursed so he can't blink and follow up and kill the Jog. And I just bought time for the monkey to get there, and then Ursa gets isolated because he's too far in, and the rest of his team doesn't want to go into the ulti, so...
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
They just have a lot of zoning tools this game actually, through Monkey Ult, the Vacuum, and the Wall. There's a lot of things they have to be scared of if they want to group up. It feels really reliant on like the Ursa and Invoker to make all the things happen in fights, to like give them the vision that Slada can get the crushes and stuff.
And he's really
Because their
fat.
supports.
Like the monkey. What do you think his next item is? Because I see he has like 2100 gold. Do you
BKB?
think BKB? Not a blink for like positioning?
You generally just play around the trees for your position. I think you need BKB or Shadow Blade to stay in your ult a bit longer. Like that's the purpose of the hero.
Ooh, they're looking a bit in the vacuum. Top lane. Flysu is still alive for now, but the tornado's gonna come out. And the deafening blast and the crushed follow up as well. Lina should be dying here, denies herself.
Kind of surprised he didn't grip that, but I guess he wanted the other kill. It's good they can respond to those kind of plays though, because that's where Warriors have been finding like most of their success through like these solo pickoffs.
Ooh, Rams solo killing WL. It's not too concerned with the Arcane Curse, and looks like they just want to push out this middle lane, get themselves a tier 2. Monkey is slowly getting fat, like 2800 gold. So like you said, BKB here almost has enough money for it, 1000 gold. Tornado, ooh, jukes it just in the nick of time. But no, it's a trap. They are sending all the cavalry here. They want to kill off that Invoker.
He's not an easy kill though, like Lina has to land stun, so he can't BKB.
And Silencer's dead, so they don't have global silence to make sure that he doesn't get away with the Ghost Walk.
Yeah, he's just he was trying to like defend the tower as much as possible while his team gets Roche, because Roche is kind of guaranteed. And now this is take the tier 2 trade-off. And I think EVOS are more than happy to go high ground here if the situation presents itself.
Dire's bottom tower
And
has fallen.
Warriors split pushes, it's decent through Jug and Lina,
Radiant's
but
top tower is under attack.
I think it's a lot easier for them to
Radiant structures are
split than it is to take the fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But they actually want to fight, I suppose because they have Aegis.
Good. Trying to go for the crush, landing into the Juggernaut. Tornado's actually going to connect onto the Monkey with the Fiend's Grip as well. But the Global Slam's going to be there. Boundless Strike. Does he actually use the Wukong's command? He tried for the leap, the Primal Spring away. He needs to get up, but it looks like Monkey King will die here. He will be the lone casualty.
Bottom tower
That's not too bad. He still has buyback, so that's okay.
And it's just to stop the trade. When you're in the lead and you have the tools to win the fight, you don't want to let the other team trade, because it's always disadvantageous. And Darkseid has a Hex now, so it's a lot easier for them to get pickoffs. This was like the stun they were lacking.
Looking in the top lane, he has an Invis and he doesn't know about this. Oh, but he hex him up. Alright, Logic, he needs to go back in. The back and back as well, getting the bash, and of course they kill Tron. 2 Hoy out with the ultimate. Won't need to use anything else, but he wants to cancel off that surge, and Iron Shell by Darkseer. And it's
It's definitely a favourable trade. Lina for Darks, Lina for the Slardar, and then
Ooh, he has
now
an
they can
Octarine
look
core
to.
now.
Radiant's top
Say again?
tower
He has an
being
Octarine core now.
destroyed.
Like he can afford it right now. He just needs to sell the Midas, or maybe he can get rid of the Yules.
Yeah, you'd probably get rid of Midas before yours is still really valuable. So
Especially
Yeah, he's
against the
have-
Global Silence.
I'm actually really surprised he took the AoE deafening, but I suppose that's a more teamfight orientated spell. You know, like the new Tornado Talon, I thought it was good before when it was like minus 12 seconds, and then they buffed it, and like everyone's been taking it since because it just kills creep waves with one spell each time, or it pushes them out, and it gives you 2 or 3 combos a fight as opposed to 1 and then some right clicks, or relying on someone else to set you up. But this gives Ursa and Slardar a lot more space in the fights because you can kind of initiate with it if you just blink in.
Yeah, and
I
AoE
suppose
definitely
you can-
blasts. Easier to aim to, I would presume, especially like you just go in and of course because they're melee heroes, it's easier to aim the AoE and you can just disarm them both, and that's actually a huge timing window for both of them.
Do you disarm the monkey and then disarm the clones? Is that how it works? Or can they not be disarmed?
That part I'm not too sure, but I think it's okay. Like I think
I'm
it should
pretty
work
sure
that
the
way.
clones don't get affected.
The clones don't get affected for sure, but if you can disarm like the Monkey King and the Juggernaut in the fights, that's actually really, really big.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it worked on the clones, then it makes complete sense. But I'm 99.9% sure it doesn't. And if you disarm the main one, I'm pretty sure it doesn't spread either. So that would have been a huge argument for it. But I suppose it's also what you're comfortable with. Some people are just used to playing with it after the change. When you get level 25, people are just used to it, so preferences all around. There's not really a right or wrong answer in a lot of situations,
Alright,
as
so
long as he uses it.
I want to ask about the Lina. Do you go for the -4 Dragon Slave cooldown, or do you want to go for like the extra fiery soul stacks? Because it seems like that would help.
I don't think you ever take the -4 seconds. I
That's
think
not
that
worth it.
that is like the most garbage talent ever at level 25 in comparison to what it's next to. Like, that's 12% move speed and 120 attack speed. Let's just do some math, okay? Moonshard is 120, so that's 4k gold. And Manta's the highest move speed item in the game, right? For percentage, or is it SNY? It's SNY, so that's basically an 8k gold talent, as opposed to...
Nope, turning it up into the air. Rams, he's trying to go for the solo kill into Xiang. But now, the Sunstrike, can he kill Xiang? The Manta, he tried to dodge in the nick of time, but no, actually no, they're turning things around. Balance the monkey. And Xiang gets the crit. Big kill into Ramton. That's an unstoppable kill streak they need to get out right now. Let's see the TP. I think
That's
he's
so
waiting
huge that
around.
he was there. Like,
Wait, and
he's
he still
he's
has an
playing
Unsash.
so well.
He still has an Omni Slash. I think he's gonna TP. I thought he would have stuck around trying to just get a fight while the team moves over, but it seems like that wasn't the game plan.
You know, push out the other lanes. Try and look to use for pickoff because they weren't really in a position to push the lane through. So I gotta give credit to this Monkey player though. I haven't seen many people abuse the hero the way he has in a real game since people kind of understood how to play against it. I think I don't know how you pronounce his name, but the guy who played for IG in DAC. Yeah, he's like the only person I've seen play the hero really, really well. And this guy Yang is also doing pretty well.
You go for a smoke maneuver into the enemy jungle, taking a walk in the woods. We'll see if this pays off for them, because right now, EVOS, they popped the scan, they know where they are immediately, but the Hex is gonna be there, looking for the vacuum, what the sleep is gonna be. So they cancel the sleep, they're looking for the vacuum, they want to try and give multiple targets, they go into a Vil with the Boundless Strike, that should be one target down, and the Laguna Blade, easy
yes,
death.
cheese.
Popping the BKB, the call was right, and now the Global Silence is gonna pop out right now, but the bashes, can they find the bash? They put the sentries down, and now use the Omni Slash onto Vlad, so it looks like he will be dying here, that's gonna be one down. But Invoker's coming up in just a tiny bit, but it looks like EVOS, they have lost this fight. Xiang finding himself the double, and he will find the third as the Arcane Curse onto Iron Logic, cancelling that blink. He still has the Aegis, but Avil on the run.
It's not too bad considering they basically lost 2 supports while their Invoker wasn't in the fight, which is 24k net worth of a hero. So if they want, they could actually fight now. Like they know there's no global.
He knows where Rams is with the Hex, looking for the stun. Oh no, he just got back to life, and now he will spend a whole 100 seconds waiting at the fountain. And it looks like Ursa's about to follow him in. I think he buys back here. He buys back right now. Where's that?
That's late though.
Post Wukong's command, down goes iLogic, not running anywhere. He tried to face for the 4-staff, but there was no 4-staff from the Vil. Looking for the EMP now. Dox is going to be okay with this, because right now they get the tier 2 WG.Y finding the opening which they wanted. Oh my god, this is high ground. They already got the buyback from the Invoker.
I think they are going to be a tiny bit cautious as their Lina isn't there for 20, and they've probably realized Ursa has buyback.
Trying to stop them up.
Jug can always siege like this. Just Manta away and he stuns. And then
stun, the crush, and the sleep. But where's the follow-up? Everyone's just going to back this one out as they use great teamwork here between Wen and Xiang. They want to go here onto Rams. Meteor only landing onto 1, but he's not too concerned about that. He has the Greaves, so he can actually just purge it off. But now Trion coming in, and they can actually just regroup and see whether they can take a fight outside. But 1, it looks like they found themselves a very tasty target into Vaisu, going for the spin. Looks like they'll be the death of the Bane.
That's a gem as well.
Oh no, Slaughter took it. He's going to force that back up. So EVOS on the ropes right now as the top lane is also pushing in.
And they do have the bottom lane pushing out, but I don't think there's any way they can wrap this. They have to defend. And Invoker's a really good hero at doing it here, but he can't play too far up because he has no buyback.
The spin. Yeah, he can just keep doing this. And Bueno going once again for the Hex, but the vacuum and 4-staff interaction not going to really be finding themselves any kills there. But Xiang, I think he should be okay. Does he use an Omni Slash? I think he does. Yep, he was going to use it solo into the Crystal Maiden, in between the creeps, bouncing around, not really going to kill anything right there. And Invoker's actually just going straight to the shrine. They pop 2 shrines for this big stuff, and the Wukong's command is going to zone them out. But big thing is to get the tier 3 tower. With the BKBs expiring, everyone's just going to try and think about going back in. WL will be the sacrificial lamb. So they lose 1, but they get to tier 3. Will they find any more kills? I think Avil's looking for someone. Oh, they know the monkey is there. Vaisu with the high gun vision. And actually, not to find a crush onto Tron. Monkey still put to sleep. Nah, he should be dying here. No way he gets out. And looks like they will find themselves Tron as well, losing 3 heroes.
That was a really good chase from them. They got a lot from that. And losing a tier 3 is pretty bad because it opens up your shrines, but considering the situation they put themselves in, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Like, those exit kills might give them the chance to finish off this tier 2 and maybe even force buyback themselves. Which, as we can see, Monkey doesn't. Lina does, and Silencer should probably be up, but he has no global for 70, which is, barring Glimmercape, the main point of the hero at the moment. Other than cancelling blinks, I suppose.
It actually looks like they're not too concerned about mid. They just want to go straight for the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is a better decision. The creeps were close enough.
And they have a Deso as well.
Yeah, Alacrity, Deso, plenty of ways to hit towers. And now they can just zone them out.
Using the fort.
Radiant structures are
They
fortified.
can hold somehow.
This is a lot of respect that they could have buybacks, and they don't want to throw the game. Like if Invoker gets caught out, he has no buyback. It's not necessarily game over at that point, but you're climbing a hill. I think they'd rather wait for a cleaner chance.
So they get the tier 2s. Every outer tower in this game is already taken out, but the good thing for WG is that they can still take the shrines like you mentioned. And it seems like EVOS just waiting for Roshan. That's the next big objective which both teams will look to contest.
And until that point, it just goes down to map movement and who gets caught out and when. The smoke might find some success, but right now they're all on like the safest side of the map except the Slider, who is slowly but surely moving there. I say slowly, it is a Slider whispering.
Double damage.
No, I like Darkseid's
And they hit the
talents
scan.
actually. Yup, they hit the scan, and they've actually been very, very accurate so far with the usage of the scans. Like, I don't think WG have used the scans that often. It's always been EVOs using them and making calls from there.
It's somewhat easy to read the game when you kind of understand what the other team wants. And now
Logic,
this is
he's
really
going
good.
straight for him. Immediately taking out Tron, he never stood a chance, and now they pop the shrine. Vil, thinking about going for Xiang instead. Does he use an Omni Slasher? He has a double damage, and I think he's going to use it. Yes, he will. Can he get any kills here? He's all alone. And of course, with the Fiend's Grip, nice big ultimate coming up from Xiang. And Blaisu will go down in that Wukong's command. He just walks out of it, and actually,
Out of it, though.
they got the monkey, but Rams taking care of all these WG heroes. It will be the team wipe. And they just charge straight mid. Looks like buybacks will be forced out here.
Yeah, they got so cocky when they went to hit that shrine after their smoke whiffed. I don't think they paid any respect to the possibility of EVO smoking into them. And one of their most important heroes was just like caught in the front. Lena's, she's not that farmed, but she still has a decent contribution to the fights just through her spells. But I mean, that's just not how you want to play.
Has fallen. Radiant's middle
Okay, so they got
tower
what they
is
wanted.
under
They're gonna
attack.
just take this nice and slow, go back to the Roshan, and it almost feels like EVO's on pretty good track to forcing a game 3.
Yeah, they're definitely favored right now. And if they can take the shrines and get the control around the Roche pit, which is going to be really hard if they don't have a gem, just because of where the Warriors' wards are. But if they can't get out quick enough, and Ursa's always going to melt Roshan, especially with Dessa and the Corrosive, as we've seen like 4 times this game, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. And this will be the 4th.
Yeah, it is the 4th one. But that's just Ursa things. Like EVOs, they really value this Ursa pick a lot, regardless. And it's been really paying off. And now with an MKB underway, wait, is there butterfly? Yeah, he saw the Eagle Horn on Juggernaut. So, alright, they're gonna get themselves a nice Roshan, nice bit of cheese.
Yeah, Ursa can grab one and then probably Slider for the cheese. Can swap his Midas. And unless this monkey or maybe even Lena make some plays and stop this push, I think it's a pretty convincing chance for EVOS to convert the game here. The lanes are all slowly but surely getting pushed out now that the Invokers sorted out the bottom lane. They can group up. Whether they want to do the shrines and be a bit more clinical. They've already taken out the bottom one. This is a tiny bit greedy, but they also don't know where the Invoker is right now, so...
Is there any way in which you would consider getting a Hex, just putting the Blink aside if you're the Invoker? Or even a Refresher Orb for that matter?
I think Blink is way too core on the hero. I'd rather ditch... Actually no, I'd rather ditch Shiva's than Blink, for sure. But Shiva's at this point is a lot of value in fights.
Or you could just get the Refresher or Hex, you know, you swap it out of your stash, sorry, of your backpack, and that could actually kind of work out if you can get the timing right.
Yeah, if you have a Refresher, then you'd swap the Shivas out and Blink in with Refresher, cast your combos, swap it in mid-fight. Or just only have the refresher in your inventory when you're actually looking for a fight. But he's going to value buyback over that, and he's only got 1600 reliable. Somewhere around there.
EVOS, they really like their smokes, this flanking smoke. If they're just gonna look for that one.
This is really smart, because there's no tower. Nothing dispels the smoke, and then they get shit tons of vision.
They're gonna dive here right now, getting a beautiful double crush into the Sunstrike. Can he get the kill here? Oh, another Laguna bit, and the media's gonna fly out. Rams popping the BKB. Big stuff. And actually looks like one will go down, but Xiangdian Omnislash bouncing around. Can he kill the Invoke? Yeah, he needs to kill the Invoke, but the Fiend Scoop is gonna come out. Beautiful Fiend Scoop, and he has no buyback, I think. Nice boundless strike. Oh no, it's a disaster. No buyback on the Juggernaut, no buyback on your Darks here. And WL finds one kill. But that's it. All these illusions actually doing quite a bit of damage. Wow! 4 for 2. And it actually looked like EVOS had won that fight until they overextended, and of course... Whew, what else, man, Peaky? What else?
I mean, they just went too deep, right? And I think they don't know that Jug has no buyback in conjunction with Darkseer. They might know the Darkseer, but because it's time-based. But if they did, they could even YOLO and like a double bore back on their Corsair, but I think Warriors are gonna have a hard time forcing these buybacks.
Okay, so they get the Invoker buyback at least, and they take care of one of the shrines. So
I'm really surprised you brought back, like, there's only 3 heroes and none of them can push.
this Monkey King is turning into such a pain in the ass. He actually went back for the Blink Dagger, and...
Yeah, you got that after you mentioned it.
And he has a
I'm kind of
defuse.
surprised. I can see why. It just gives you a lot of positioning, and the hero plays really well around it. I thought you'd just go for like a BKB or something first. But he's completely foregoing it, doesn't feel like he needs it. And if you never get hit by the spells, because your team's tanking all of them, then why do you need it?
I think he realizes as well that he'd rather be such a pain in the ass that he wants to be a distraction, and if they don't focus him down, he's going to get so much damage output up. And not to mention with the Blink Daggers, he actually turned that fight around, keeping the Jug alive for as long as he did with that triple boundless strike. So you can see the value of the Blink Dagger in these, you know, it's just these tiny details which matter in the fights.
Oh yeah, like he's making good use of the item. It's just different people have different reads on the game. One route is not always better.
Alright, so let's take a look at buybacks first. Okay, you only have Monkey, Ursa, Lina, Silencer, and Bane who have buyback. Already Invoker doesn't have it, neither does Jog, Slaughter, and Darkseer. Okay.
It's a pretty open game. Like, if you find this Invoker, it's gonna cause EVOS a lot of problems. And they have a lot of catch now through the Hex, and Lina getting the Shadow Blade can... It's caught them out several times. Because Bane holding the gem it's nice, but he's not the frontlining hero most of the time. He's in a much more defensive posturing. But the issue is none of his cores have the item slots for gem anymore. Unless you really want Slardar to get rid of his Midas, which wouldn't be a bad call, but he also needs a TP slot, so...
I don't think
Can't put gem in your bank.
And I don't think I've ever seen a situation where both teams are just so cautious, they're just both waiting in their base. That was like a good 30 seconds.
Have you never watched Chinese Dota? They do this all the time, where the other team thinks the other team's smoking and they sit in their base.
I mean,
Both
I have.
teams sit in their base.
I cast the majority of the DPL games. I spend a lot of time casting Chinese games, but I've never seen both teams. Like one team, yes, but not both at the same time.
I feel like I've seen it several times. Maybe I'm exaggerating it, but I feel like this happens a lot in Chinese Dota.
But that's because in Chinese Dota, they're usually very calculated. They refuse to take risks, and
This'll come in handy.
yeah, like I said, you know, for 30 seconds, both these teams were just basically watching their creeps fight. Like it was like Fight Club. Like, okay, go guys, go, do the work for us.
No one has vision on the map that's actually showing anything right now, so
Exactly.
it's incredibly hard to get a read of what's happening. And this is where you win or lose games. If you make the wrong decision and you go uphill into 5 heroes, you lose. Or you put yourself in a really shitty position where you have to burn buybacks and you have to out-execute them. So This might look really boring and really silly to certain people, but it's the correct move if you don't know what to do. Because at this stage of the game, farm is pretty irrelevant. Yes, more items are always nice, but you want to get to the point where you're taking favorable fights based on positioning and vision, as opposed to being several items ahead. Because as we saw several times last game, it's more execution based than it is fight based, item based.
Oh, they're trying to chase the Monkey King. They know he was there. He casted the Boundless Strike to clear the creep wave. And if anything, like, it almost feels like this game we're definitely in for another 1 hour plus game. And supports are basically not supports. Supports are going to be 6 slotted by that point, I feel.
Well, maybe not for EVOS' side, but the Monkey's doing an incredible job, and Silencer's just, you know, slowly plucking away at these creeps. If he wants, he has a refresher in about 500, 600 gold. A tiny bit more, but it's close enough.
If you're the Juggernaut, do you actually try to go to the Travels first, or do you want to like get an Abyssal Blade? I feel like you need some extra lockdown.
I'd lean towards Abyssal personally, but he also feels like he needs a blink.
I mean, so far he's actually managed to hold that Omni Slash to the very last second enough where he isolates one target, but I feel like the Abyssal would do a bit more. I also lean to Abyssal because especially it's great against the Ursa. You don't have Lotus Orbs on the other heroes except the Slaughter, I believe, and so far he's been using it to dispel the Global Silence. So if you're quick enough, you could actually have a tiny window where you can actually quickly burst on the Ursa. I mean, easier said than done, of course.
Well, you can enrage the Abyssal off, so you'd have to use it afterwards. But yeah, I don't know. I think Abyssal's probably his next major item. It's just whether he values the positioning aspect or the BOTs first. I could see any of the three, to be honest.
Lina still has room to grow. More right clicks.
Yeah, a lot of room.
A lot of room. Like, you can get rid of
She's
the wand.
poor.
You could go for a Hex. You could go for a Bloodthorn. I mean, I just looked at the net worth. It just occurred to me that she's actually in the bottom half. Considering, like, usually as Lina, she's known for her fast farming speed. Like, she can clear camps very easily. She can clear creep waves also quite easily. But in this case, very lackluster game. She hasn't really had that huge impact, which we usually, we're so used to seeing. She's 5'8" and 17.
Yeah, she's always been dying in fights, and his positioning has not been as you would expect. Like, either he's got some miscommunication with his team, or he's just playing too ballsy and he's been punished several times for it. And he's been in the bottom half of the net worth for, I don't know what, most of the game, at least for the last 20 minutes. Slaughter's almost always been on top since the game started going badly for her. And the issue she has is Monkey's always pushing out one lane, Darkseid pushes one, and Jug's pushing the other. She doesn't have the most space to farm. And she's also kind of the only one that can look for kills other than the Monkey. So she's playing more of the initiator role, which is not normally how you see Lina played in the, like, 50-minute mark. But now they're smoking up, they've got Silencer with a refresher, they feel like this is a really strong window for them. Because normally what you do against Silencer is you wait for the global, you press BKB, and then you cast your shit regardless. But refresher puts a huge wrench in the works. And if they're reading the game well, then they know Roche can spawn any time, and they're playing around it really nicely.
EVOS.
But
Once more with the scan, they know what's going on. But I agree with what you said, like, especially with the Silencer part. Like, that refresher is such a big item, and they don't know about that. So EVOS, they already use the scan, they know
might
where
find
they
him
are.
first here, though.
Oh, if they can find him first, that's really big.
Oh, that's
What?
so, like, clutch. He goes
Oh,
to
they
the
want
low
to go
ground.
straight for the win. And of course with the EB trying to save him, he's going to buy back immediately Trion. All on, of course, that Tornado going to save him for now. The BKB is already worn off, and of course the Omni Slash in the backline. But nice Boundless Strike connecting to 4 heroes, but unfortunately no one's really stuck inside the Wukong's command. And multiple buybacks being used up from WG.Youth squad. They want to contest around this big Roshan.
That's a huge win for EVOS. Like,
Very big win.
buyback on the Lina and then Monkey all being down. They now have like a lot of freedom in their fights. They might have seen the refresher on Silence, I'm not sure, but if they have, they know Global's down at least once.
They don't have Omni Slash as well. And oh my god, they found one more time. It's going to be a dieback, 2 minutes without one. Xiang, he's going to spin away to safety. He needs to. He's going to start getting some right clicks out into iLogic. Over in the back line, WL throwing out the meteor and the deafening blast. He goes down to Rams. And this is the scaling heroes we talked about. He got one, and the huge ultimate Monkey King also dies. And that's going to be the Juggernaut down. Do they buy back here? That's the question. Because right now, EVOS...
They have to.
They have to. And EVOS
they can't contest Roche though.
Yeah, it's too late. They loaded too much.
They have to defend their base with 3 heroes. Which is a pretty huge task. When she's on CM, sure, it doesn't really matter, but you have 6 lives on the heroes. And Invoker, yeah, he has buybacks, they have like 7, 8 lives.
All the buybacks coming out now.
That's all they have.
On the table. Yeah, that's all they have, and I'm not sure it's going to be enough. If anything, they will have to give up at least 1 lane of racks or 2.
No, they have to make some huge play here.
Very huge play. Boundless Strike. Oh, blink out just in the nick of time. Really quick reflexes coming out from the Monkey. He has an ultimate coming up. He already has the ultimate, so he could think about some really big ults, at least trying to hold this 1 lane of racks. So there's a choice.
I think their best hope is like the top lane. Because I think these two, there's way less trees around there, there's also way less like choke points.
So they lose 1 melee barracks, they get the sleep. Using the illusion really quick. But now the EMP coming now. Does he get out? I think he dies here. Chuan did E-Blade himself, but the Deafening Blast will polish off the Lina, die back onto her. And that should be the melee barracks. If anything, this could actually potentially be the game over.
Yeah, 100 seconds no Lina, 20 seconds no Darks here. So if they're confident enough, they have the tools to end the game now.
Man.
They just need to not do anything stupid and they're good.
Go to Soul, being used. Looks like they want to kill the Juggernaut. They want to end it right here. He already bought back. He's going to need to be... Oh, does he get out? He pops the Shrine? No, he's going to run all the way back with that Glimmer Cape.
They're just making space for the Invoker to siege the racks, so...
They are. Alright, so that's going to be the melee barracks going down, looking for the range as well. They want to get the mega creeps here, looking for the back into the wall, into the Boundless Strike, 3 heroes, into the Wukong's command, and can they kill Xiang? They need to kill Xiang. The megas are already too late, the damage has been done. And that Deafening Blast once more. Monkey in a world of hurt, they need to pop the Shrine, need to try and save him, but the bash, very, very luckily there. Now they use it, Xiang, they start bringing iLogic down, so they do kill off the Ursa, 2 minutes without an Ursa. They want to go straight for Rams, they have the vision, they have the detection.
They kill Invoker, they can win.
Oh,
he has no buyback.
Is this where they go straight?
No,
he has buyback, 2 minutes. But he has buyback.
It was the Ursa that bought back earlier. My bad, my bad.
All good. So is it okay? Is this the part where? No, I remember Invoker did buy back, but that was like way.
Yeah, ages ago.
Yeah. So is this the part where they just go straight mid against the megas? I mean, Xiang also
needs to have some
creep here. Yeah, he's already planned in advance. He got the Maelstrom.
There's not the heroes to hold high ground on their team. They really just have to YOLO, and 80 seconds, by the time they get to the base, probably about 55, where there's no Ursa. That's a good enough window. Lina can BOT in, Silencer just bought his, so they're going to have 5 heroes. The only thing they have to worry about is the fact all the shrines are available, so they're going to have to play around that a bit, but...
Sunstrike, right?
I don't think they can go racks, they have to go throne.
He's still intent on going for it, he's going for the siege.
They don't have Lina there yet either, so they're only 3 heroes. I'm surprised they're not just, going in.
They're taking this very, very nice and slow. WG.Y squad. And they don't even get the racks. They don't even get the racks. This is bad.
Yeah, Invoker can just tornado the creep wave. I think he has a Deafening Blast available, and they've got no creeps to siege with. He's playing very, very safe though.
And yes, they're going for that melee barracks. They want to get it. The Shrine's already been taken. In their base. Needs to spin this one out. Deafening Blast not going to be saving him. So they get 1 barracks. And that's going to be a bit more relief for them going up against the Megas. But right now, they don't...
The Megas are killing their base. They need to make up the minds. I mean, they have to go. There's no way they win.
First strike. Oh no, the Fiend's grip onto the Juggernaut. The Global Silence is going to come out trying to save him. But the back, finding 2 heroes. You need to kill them off right now. Back into the base. Well, this is taking it to the very edge with the Wukong's command taking care of those 2 heroes immediately. And WG.Y, They're going straight for the tier 4s. The buyback will come on right now from the Bane at least. Not yet the Crystal Maiden gems on the floor. Another buyback will come from the Crystal Maiden. Look at the media, the AoE deafening blast, and now trying to kill. They need to kill him off right now. But the BKB Xiang, he's gonna keep him going. Does he die here? I don't think so. He's gonna use that Omni Slash. No Lina, no Silencer. It's them against the world, and they lose to the tier 4, to the Megas.
It's a lot different of the game too.
Very, very
Still
big
really clutch from both teams though. They look fairly even.
Whew, what a game. Once again, we find ourselves a really, really good game between EVOS and WG. And EVOS, I mean, they'll be forcing a game 3. I mean, PQ, any thoughts before we close out this game? We wait go to the next.
Even though he didn't win, this monkey played absolutely amazing. He was
did.
definitely MVP. But unfortunately, I think EVOS just had like... I think it was the Invoker factor, honestly. Invoker Ursa, it's so easy to play with those heroes, I feel like. They got every Roche. It just makes the game so much easier for them.
And also, let's take time to appreciate that iLogic has, he's 21 and 8. He did an absolute hell of a job with the Ursa this game. And the very fact that he actually has almost the same amount of damage, almost like just 1k difference behind the Invoker, that says something. Like he lifted his team definitely this game.
He plays the hero really well. Like even when they were losing, he kept up the farm, which is one of the hardest things to do on that hero.
Alright, so we will be going into game 3, but we will be taking a quick break first. My name is Hades and this is PQMZ. We're going to take a quick break. See you guys soon off the Manila Masters coverage.